Shalom, guys. Today we're going to do a video about earthquakes and what's been happening around the world. As you can see, these are real pictures. Earthquakes everywhere. Guys, 6.9 magnitude. That just hit. That literally just hit. Look at all this damage. There's so much damage. Look at that. So we know that earthquakes are getting worse. We know that. We know sinkholes, unless you've been, living under a rock and not paying attention. This stuff is really bad. And it's only going to continue to get worse. So let's look and see, what did Yahusha tell us back in Matthew 24? We already know this, guys. 7. Nation will rise against nation, which is what we see right now, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. And all of these are just the beginning of the birth pains. So I want to show you an interesting video, guys. Watch this.
Ever caught on video. This is a security camera for GP Energy Myanmar. That camera was rolling, capturing the moment when the earth was splitting. And geologists are sharing this.
Did you guys see that? Have you ever seen anything so profound? That was the earth. Like, that wasn't a joke. That was the earth literally moving. Let's watch it again. That was crazy.
Caught on video. This is a security
Watch this tower, guys. Pay attention.
Camera for GP Energy Myanmar. That camera was rolling, capturing the moment when the earth was splitting. And geologists are sharing this video all over the world, and they're expressing their amazement at everything this video captured. Sageng Fault is a major fault line where the Indian and the Sunda plate meet, and as always, where plates meet, they can move towards each other, away from each other, or slip past each other or underneath each other. 7 or 8. Wow. That's why the big one, that when the next earthquake hits there's nothing from keeping it from growing to a magnitude 7 or 8. Wow. That's why.
Guys, look at this crevasse. What if he fell in? Like, you're not getting that. Like, you're not getting out of that. Why would you be standing there? Because we're living in a world of stupid, guys. We're living in a delusion. We're losing our minds. Would you be standing there? Oops, I accidentally fell. No, this thing is deep. The earth is shaking and quaking and reeling to and fro like a drunkard, and this is real. And this is a massive fault line. Okay, this is a slip line. Okay, so if you watch these videos,
Let's go.
Make your very own monster.
What kind of monster do you want to build?
A cute monster.
sorry.
Ruptured over 250 miles long, over 250 miles, 400 kilometers. And this
250 miles long, guys.
rupture, it's among the largest globally, has exhibited, they call it a super shear speed, traveling faster than the speed of sound, following an initial slow phase. And then the ground shaking extended over 100 kilometers, 62 miles, enormous. And after scientists completed their evaluations, you see the displacement of the road, that it's not even on a straight line. And
Look at the road, guys. This is happening in real time. Okay? So watch this on the Pulse with Silky. Very, very, very informative. Amazing with the earthquakes, the volcanoes, the tsunamis, and whatnot. This is crazy. This is real.
They have used these satellite images to map that surface rupture and to assess the structural damage in Mandalay. And it's clear how important the satellite data are for real-time assessment of earthquake damage. And I have made a video. They might now be able to predict it, or at least measure movements of fault lines like the San Andreas fault or this one here in real time, a movement only as wide as a hair, one hair. Here at this fault, what's also outstanding is that for the first time during a large magnitude earthquake.
Okay, so we're going to move on. Okay. Scripture. Therefore I will make the Shamayim tremble, and the earth will shake from its place, and the wrath of Yahuwah Almighty in the day of his burning anger. And we know the day of Yahuwah is this generation. Okay? The last generation is Yahuwah's day. This is no joke. Haggai 2, 6 through 7. This is what Yahuwah of the host says. Once more in a little while, and I'm going to shake the heavens and the earth, and the sea also, and the dry land. And I will shake all the nations, and they will come with the wealth of all the nations. And I will fill this place, Yahuwah's house, with splendor. Yahuwah of hosts says. Okay, so I will shake all the nations, and they will come with the wealth of the nations. So we know that all of the nations are about to be spoiled. And all of the wealth and the treasure and everything good is going to Yasharal when Yahuwah of hosts makes it. Matthew 24:29. The sun will be darkened. Okay, immediately after the trouble of those days, the sun will be darkened, the moon will not give her light, and the stars will fall from the Shamaim, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken. That's the big shaking. That's like the entire earth shaking day. Job 9, verse 6. He shakes the earth from its place and makes its pillars tremble. We know that the earth is on pillars. Okay, we've got a nice picture over here. See the pillars of the earth? This is what the earth looks more like. Okay? Not the globe, because global is their Baal glowing, shining, which we don't want Baal to shine. We want Yahuwah's firmament strong, and we need to make that known, that the earth is not Baal shining. Okay. Psalm 18, verse 7. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations also of the mountains quaked and were shaken because he was wroth. Okay. Habakkuk. He stood and measured the earth, and he beheld and drove asunder the nations, and the everlasting mountains were scattered. The perpetual hills did bow. His ways are everlasting ways. Barak Yahuwah. Isaiah 34, verse 4. And all the hosts of the Shamayim shall be dissolved, and the Shamayim shall be rolled together like a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Remember, what did it say in Matthew? Let's go back. Oh, these are all the beginning of birth pains. Okay, there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. Right now we're having earthquakes in various places. Oh, these are the beginning. Guys, this is just the beginning. So if this is the beginning, okay, and all of this is real footage, and all this is just the beginning, what's the day of Yahuwah going to look like? Like the actual day of Yahuwah. Like not the generation that we're going through right now, but like when he says it's done and it is done and it is finished, the whole earth is going to look like this. Have you ever seen something like this before? Look at that, guys. This was in Alaska, I believe. Have you look at, is that not terrifying? The whole earth is going to break. and real, to and fro. Okay? And Yahuwah is the true Alua. He is the living Alua, an everlasting king. At his wrath the earth shall tremble, and the nations shall not be able to abide his indignation. Who can abide the day of Yahuwah? Who's going to stand when you're on this ground? When this is your ground, he's got a message. He's got a message for all of us. These are the birth pains. This is just the beginning. This is something that is going to continue. We cannot pray prophecy away. Okay? This is just going to continue. It's not going to get better. Okay? Yep, Alaska 7.0. Look at that. Look at the earth. That is the earth. It's terrifying, guys. And if you've been paying attention, these earthquakes are quaking on. Let's go to Jeremiah. Okay? No one can abide in his indignation. Okay. Back to pictures. And I wanted to share something. What happens when you have big earthquakes going off all over the world? Look at the earth just breaking. What happens when Yahuwah has his way with the inhabitants? How many people died in this, guys? Like, these people now are on top of these people. And what does it say? You will, like, be cast into the street. You will be torn asunder. You know, the earth will no longer disclose her blood, but blood will be showing in the streets. You won't even have a burial in Yahuwah's wrath because the earth is just going to swallow you up. This is concrete, guys. Who can break concrete but the Almighty Yahuwah? This is real damage. Can you imagine? How terrifying, guys. Where are you going to be when the earthquake gets you? And like it says, if the earthquake doesn't get you, the flood is going to get you. If the flood doesn't get you, the famine's going to get you. If the famine doesn't get you, my sword is coming after you. And if my sword doesn't get you, the Mashiach will slay you. Because Yahushua's coming back. The king is coming back. And these are the signs, guys. This is what he told us to look for. Okay? He says you hypocrites can't even see the sky in your face. You know? The red sky. What did he say? You can discern the sky, but you don't know what days you're living in. You can't discern the end days. You can't discern the signs of the end days, is what he says. And now we're living in days where people can't even discern the sky. They don't even believe that chemtrails are real. You can show them literally a tic-tac-toe in the sky that they created with their chemtrails. And they'll say, oh, it's condensation. Look at this. Whoa. Whoa. It looks beautiful. It's like the Rocky Mountains. What is going on? What is this? This highway collapsed. No kidding. Look at it. You guys know how strong this is? Yahuwah's mad. Yahuwah is mad, guys. This is no joke. This is no joke, guys. Look at that. Okay? Where did this come from? California. San Andreas Fault. You guys, they're talking about the big one going off. Like, and it's so many levels. Let's keep going. I've got a lot to share. Earthquakes can trigger other earthquakes through a process called dynamic stress transfer, which can lead to a chain reaction. That's not good. So the more earthquakes there are, the more earthquakes there are. So if we come to a point where earthquakes are going off all the time now, it's going to cause even more earthquakes to go off through dynamic stress transfer. Okay, this often happens after aftershocks following a larger main shock, or less commonly as foreshocks before a main shock. In some cases, large earthquakes can even trigger distant quakes, though this is less common and more speculative phenomenon. This is AI, so AI is not completely 100% true. That's why we have to have Chachma. We have to need wisdom of Yahuwah. Okay? What does it say in 2nd Esdras 5 verse 8? The wild beasts shall change their places. And this describes a sign of the end times, indicating chaos and upheaval where animals will leave their natural habitats. That is true. This, along with other unnatural events like the earth breaking open, fire being sent out, yes, and yes, and women giving birth to monsters, signals a period of great turmoil and the reversal of natural order as detailed in the book's descriptions of the signs of the apocalypse, which is true. All of this is true. Now, the women giving birth to monsters, that is a more modern version of 2nd Esdras. The earlier version of 2nd Esdras says that women will give birth untimely and the babies will live. So the fact that now women are giving birth untimely, you know, at 30 weeks or so, 40 weeks or so, not 40, but like 28, 30 weeks. Sorry, 40 is a full term. And then going into living in an incubator for a month or so is absolutely not of Yahuwah's order. It never was. So when it says women giving birth to monsters, that's, like I said, a more modern version of the 2nd Esdras. The women giving birth untimely and then the baby's going to live in incubators, that's the earlier version of 2nd Esdras. But read it. There's so much in there. And yes, animals will leave their unnatural habitats because that's what's going on right now. Animals are leaving Yellowstone in droves. Okay? Animals are leaving Yellowstone. And this is the caldera at Yellowstone. It is getting hot. Okay, I think it was like the Biscuit caldera or something. Blew off. What was it? Blew off a geyser unexpectedly. It's heating up. What happens if Yellowstone? What happen? Let's just look it up real fast. What happens if Yellowstone blows up? It's already there. Um, 3/4 of the United States. The greatest danger would be within 1,000 kilometers of the blast, where 90% of people would be killed. Not could be, would be. Large numbers of, wow, AI is way off. Yeah, if Yellowstone blows up, it's come on guys, like America's gone. Not only that, but there's gonna be the biggest ash cloud ever in all of history. What does it say? It's a very dark and gloomy day. A dark and gloomy day. Look at this thing. Wow. It's a very dark and gloomy day. Set the world under an ash cloud. Okay, that's what's going to happen. Where's my picture? Okay, lost my picture. Um, if that caldera blows, guys, that's crazy. Okay, let's go back to what it says. Large numbers of people would die across the country. Inhaled ash forms a cement-like mixture in human lungs. That's true. And isn't this thing, what is it under there? It's, the minerals are so strong and concentrated that it would immediately kill the humans. Okay, what's the safest place to go? The equator. Okay. Are you on the equator? Like, what's gonna happen if Yellowstone erupts, guys? That's scary. What if the super volcano erupted? All right. Yellowstone isn't just an American treasure, it's the world's oldest national park, established in 1872. Okay, la 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 la. The geyser, a plethora of hiking trails and mountain peaks and hot springs. That's great. What if it blew up? Will that end humanity? No, but it would be the worst case scenario. It wouldn't be pleasant. Well, duh. They really put so much icing on on this stuff. 90,000 people immediately would die here. 90,000 people immediately would die, like at the strike. A nuclear winter that some experts say would blanket the US and other parts of the world if Yellowstone was to blow. Oh, but that's not, that would not be pleasant. All right. The eruption of Yellowstone supervolcano isn't the end of human race, really? Well, it says here it could blanket the entire Earth. You know, people need to understand this is not pretty. It wouldn't just dim the sunlight; it would cool temperatures. Remember, it's a cloudy, dark day. It's a cloudy, dark day. And the animals know it, so they're starting to flee. Because the earth is breaking and quaking, and the world is literally ending around us. So people need to wake up. This is no joke. Okay? You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. This is for them who are hiding in the secret place. If you're not hiding in Yahuwah's secret place, you should be alarmed. Okay? And this following the JESUS doctrine, which is the most modern doctrine, which is the wrong doctrine. It's a spell. It's the gospel. You're in a spell. If you're under the ancient law, you should be in the secret hiding place, because when the king says go, you need to go. Go to the equator, follow AI. That's where you need to go. Well, where should you go? You know where to go. If you follow my channel, you know where to go. Okay, but the end is still not come. Okay? There will be famines and earthquakes in various places, which is what is going on. All these are the beginning of the birth pains. And then what happens? You'll be handed over to be persecuted and put to death. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I just got quickened in the Ruach. That means pay attention to that, because the quickening just happened. And when that happens, that's the Ruach saying, yeah, next is death. Next is death. As the Apocalypse of Abraham says, next is going to be famine and starvation of the whole world if you follow Apocalypse of Abraham, which you should be. You should be following that too. So, starvation and death for the whole world, and you will be persecuted and put to death and hated by all nations because of me, not because of Jesus. Jesus came in the name of Zeus. We're talking about Yahusha, in the name of Yahuwah. Many will turn away and betray and hate each other, and false prophets will appear and deceive many people. Wickedness will wax cold. That's going on right now. Paying attention to the protests and Antifa. It's so bad, guys. So when we watch this video about the earth breaking, because this is real.
That's 6.2 miles. It has led to intense ground motion that has damaged roads, railways, and numerous buildings, including historical structures in Mandalay. So that earthquake has ruptured a section of the Sagang Fault. The Sagang Fault is roughly 750 miles long. That's 1,200 kilometers. It's and
This is why witches are never born randomly.
We know exactly when witches are born.
geologists are sharing this video all over the world, and they're expressing their amazement at everything this video captures. Landscape on the right side of the screen slides forward by several feet. So really watch it closely. Watch the right side of the screen sliding forward several feet, so significantly. Then we see the cracks appear in the driveway, and then a transmission tower topples. A water tank falls off a building. I haven't seen this the first time I watched it. And then the ground between the two buildings at the far left buckles and falls away. There's potted plants along the driveway, go sliding past ones that are on the opposite side of the plate. There you see how this is all shifting. And a distant tree at top center jerks just before we see the movement in the land closer to the camera. And then also a bird appears to make a hasty flight downward. So would you have seen all that I just mentioned? That's why I keep replaying the video for you.
Yes, she's very stunned. She's very startled because the earth literally moved. So, we need to be on high alert in these days, okay? We need to be absolutely diving into the prophecies and paying attention, because never, ever in any history of the human race has this been this bad. As it says that the last generation, you're going to get all the signs. Okay, you're going to get all the earthquakes, all the diseases, all the pestilences, the nations rising up. So we know we're in the end days. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to hide? Because the earth is going to swallow you up like this if you don't get out and get safe. So that's what I have for you today. I think I'm done. If Yellowstone erupts, the whole world goes under a cooling blanket of cloud and ash. And they're talking about Yellowstone erupting, so pay attention. Animals are fleeing out. That's an indication. Second Esdras says the beasts will change their places. We're in the end times, guys. Shalom.